Alright, today I'm just going to be doing a quick video on how to take a full hide of tooling leather and prep it to make belts. This can be a great way to save money if you are going to be selling belts or taking orders on them. It'll be a bigger initial cost, but if you work it out, it'll be cheaper per strap than if you were to buy a pre-cut. If you're just going to be making one or two belts, then I'd probably recommend just buying the pre-cuts. But yeah, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do that. If you have any comments, feel free to ask in the comments, and if you have any video suggestions that you'd like to see, also let me know in the comments. And like if this helped you. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I just got in this new hide of tooling leather. It's 8-9 ounce Herman oak. So I figured I'd show you how I prep the hide to be able to cut belt straps. So the thing you'll need: a framing square, 8B pencil, tape measure, and then an X-Acto knife. You're gonna want to make sure the blade is brand new, so it's super sharp, so that you're able to cut it fairly easily. So first step here will be opening up the hide and laying it out. This is actually two hides, so I'll just be pulling this one out of the way. This is a 2-3 Herman oak leather this is what I line the belts with, and the interior of my wallets, but I'll just tuck that away for now. And we're left with the 8-9 ounce. So here we have the hide all laid out. And so down here is like the belly, and this goes down into the front leg, and then up here, the neck. So this is up towards the back of the steer. So what I do is I look at it and I kind of see how far or how close I can get to the edge, because there's going to be some little imperfections in there just from the process of actually tanning it. So I'll probably start the straps right about here, just so I don't have to worry about this corner. And then I could probably get like 2 inches from the edge, and that's where I'll start it. So I just make a mark on where I'm starting for now. And then, so the typical belt size will be around like 35 inches or so. So for a 35-inch belt, you add anywhere from 10 to 12 inches to that measurement to get how long your strap will be. So like the average strap then would just be, all right, so the average belt length is usually about like 35-ish. So then you want your strap to be at least like 46 inches. But what I generally like to do is keep them like 53 inches or so, just in case I get like a one-off order that is like 43. So the biggest belt I'd be able to make is a 43 if I want to keep the same tail length. So I'll just line it up with the mark right here that we said we were going to start with, and then do another mark at 53, so that way I'll know when to stop when I'm making my line. So now that we have those lines, we can go ahead and mark our cutting line where we're going to actually cut with the framing square. So I'll just start on that line we made at the 53-inch mark, and then I'll try to line it up to shoot straight across, and that way we'll miss out any of these imperfections here. And then once I have it lined up how I want it, you can just go ahead, keep a hand on this deal so that it doesn't move, and then mark our line. And then go ahead. You want to overlap whatever you're using to keep a straight line. You can overlap that with your last line just to make sure it stays going straight. Alright, so we got that line. So this will be the bottom of our belt straps when we cut it out. Now you have to figure out how far up you're going to want it to go. So the average, I guess not the average, the way that I do belts, I do 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to figure out how far up the height I want to go. And I don't want to get too close to down here, so I'll probably stop it like right around here. I'll just put a little mark there. And then what I'll do from there is just measure that to see how tall it is. I'm gonna do 27 inches. Go a little bit higher than the first mark we made, so I'm just gonna move that up and put a mark right at 27. So we can just ignore this first one we made, and this is our new mark at 27 inches. Do 27 inches divided by 1.5 inches. So out of this strip, you get 18 belts. And I think this hide was somewhere around $250. So if you work it out, that comes out to like $13 or $14 a belt strip versus, I think at Tandy you can pay $20 for a strip that's not even Herman Oak leather. So once we have that figured out, move this down once again. This is where having the framing steel comes in handy, because you have this right angle here. Because what you can do is you can line this up right here, get that lined up, and then make another mark. And that way we're able to get a perfect right angle. So then we'll go up, we'll do a line up all the way to our 27-inch mark, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side, and then just connect it, and then we'll be able to be ready to cut it out. Make sure this is at a 27. So we got that one. So now I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other end of this line. So we got our line going up on this side, got the bottom line and that line, and then we'll just connect those two lines at the top, and then we'll be ready to cut it out from there. So I'll get this right triangle figured out, and then I'll go and do this one and then connect the lines in the middle instead of doing one right angle here and then trying to make sure it lines up. This will just help it come out a little better, a little more straight. So I got that angle, and then we can just go ahead and connect the two lines right here. Alright, so now I got this big rectangle. You can go ahead and cut it out. And then the two ways that you could cut it out, which I've done both before, is just going really slow with the X-Acto knife and just running straight across. But the safest way to do it would probably just be to use the frame here. Using the I'm blanking out on the name. But just lining that up with the line that you made, and then using it as a guide to cut a straight line. And whenever you're using something as a guide, so this side of the line will be waist, and then this side of the line will be the belt. So you want to put your guide on the side that'll actually be used, so that way if you're cutting it and your knife slips, you don't slip into the part that you're using, it'll slip into the part that's going to be waste anyway. That's just a little tip that's ruined projects for me before, so figure it's worth sharing. So I'll just get this lined up. You want to get it pretty perfect. And just like when you're drawing the line, we'll just line it up and continue down the whole way. And if it doesn't cut through all the way, you're just gonna have to go and run over it again. You always want to be careful that the knife doesn't slip and run into the belts. Just take your time with it. First side cut, so I'll go around and cut out all 4 edges and check back with you. Alright, so I got all the edges cut out, so now I can roll up the part that we don't need, and I'll still keep this around because there's still enough room on the edges that I'm able to make other things out of it if I need it. But I'll just put that down there, and then you're left with this big piece for cutting out belts. So then when you actually want to go and cut a strap out of this, you just take craft tool strap cutter or whatever strap cutter you have, set it to 1.5 inches, and then you're able to just line it up and pull it out. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Alright, and there you have a plain belt strap. If you had any questions, feel free to comment, let me know. Thanks for watching.